One of the best things about ThinkPads is that they are endlessly fixable. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use a donor part from a second motherboard to fix a ThinkPad trackpad ribbon connector onto the motherboard. The cable clips are really notorious for breaking easily, and they perish with age as well. So when you're effecting a change like this, sometimes they break, sometimes they already perished. When you try and remove them the normal way, they can fall to pieces. So they're hard to get unless you can find a donor part. And today I'm going to show you how you can make that change yourself. It's very hard to get the ribbon connector clips, so I've managed to source a motherboard from eBay. It's a used motherboard, but it has all the right clips. It's only an 8GB motherboard, so it's really useful and inexpensive as a donor part. So you can see here, this is the clickpad ribbon clip that we want, and we just want the black piece here. They're very brittle, very easy to break, and we don't want to risk that with the repair that we're going to attempt on the X380. So what we need to do is we need to break these little white sort of end sections, the black sort of the clip as it lifts up and down. You see it's actually placed inside each of those white sections. So we lift up the clip like that, and then we grab, in this case it's best to use a flat-headed end on a screwdriver, and very carefully push and break the end pieces of the click pad. See, they came out quite easily. Now we should now be able to remove this black piece just by applying some pressure. There we go. So you can see there, I've managed to just get rid of the dirt. Just managed to take this clip out, and you can see it's got two end parts, little indentations, which clip into the housing. Now, the real advantage of getting a motherboard to be able to do this, we do have a second chance if this one doesn't work, because the NFC connector is exactly the same length. So we can, in theory, use the second one there if this one fails when we try and click it into place. So next we need to get the X380 open and see if we can affect the repair by putting in this clip where the other one has perished. So here we have the insides of the X380 Yoga, and the first thing we need to do is disconnect, well, just unscrew the battery. We can leave it connected for now. Just put these screws up here, and then you should be able to just lift the battery completely over the top of the area that you want to work on. Just move it out of the way, careful not to bend the connector there too much. You can see a repair, or at least a temporary repair, has been attempted here. You see the NFC clip has already been broken and removed completely from inside here. So what we need to do is just lift up this protective yellow strip, and then we should be able to access, if we tuck that underneath the battery actually, just hold it in place, there we are. Then the tape that has just been used here, which is just like electrical tape. Careful with because we don't want to damage the connector or the ribbon. The ribbon is actually attached to the back of the tape, so we need to peel that away separately. There we go. So basically this area here, where you've got the click pad, is where we want to now put in our cable clip that we removed from the other motherboard. Now you notice on this piece that there is a groove on the one side, this side here, and you can see that that groove there is where your fingernail can come underneath and lift up the clip once it's in place. So you need to make sure that you put it in the right way up, because this way you can see it doesn't have the clip. So this is the way up that we want to insert the clip into the click pad area. Now this is really fiddly, purely because of the size. And what you need to try and do is to get the alignment with all of the pieces of metal that are underneath. Might actually need to get some small pliers to do this. Sometimes you can do it with your fingers there. So we just get it into position. Nope, it's not enjoying that. So I'm just going to quickly go and get some very small nose pliers so that I can have more control over than my big fingers. So now I've got a pair of tweezers that should enable me to get more purchase in the small area that we're working with. So I'm basically trying to get it into a position where it's aligned well with the metal underneath. Once we have it in there, don't push too hard. That appears to be in place. See, it's lifting up and down, it's seated, and it's not actually coming out when I lift it up with my fingernail. There we are. So now we should be able to just insert the clip as normal. The cable, sorry. The cable goes into the slot, and then pull down the clip. There's a handy little tab on the edge there, so you can just use that to push it in. Pull down the cable clip at the top, and that's nicely seated. Seems a little bit squiff, but hopefully there we are, that's better. You can always lift up the clip. There we are, that's better. So you see it just clicked in properly then, so it's seated properly. And there we go. So that's now much easier to clip down. Put the yellow tape back down in place, which is just to shield that from the edge of the battery and the cables. Remove anything that you've had working in that area. Put the battery back over. it's just a question of screwing everything back together and testing the laptop to make sure that the trackpad works okay.